Hello and welcome to the salesXchange podcast, B2B marketing talk for CEOs. When it comes to marketing, we can safely say that people haven't changed, but the technology certainly has. And if we don't adapt, we're going to run into some serious problems. So, if you're a CEO who's involved in marketing, join us as we talk about strategies and tactics needed to generate new business. And I'm your host and founder of salesXchange, Nigel Maine. Well, welcome to another episode, another one of our infamous podcasts. We've got an interesting show. I'm joined with my Liz, as always.
Hello.
And we've got a show that really is kind of the back end of the lockdown. Businesses are going back to work. And if, like us, you've been wondering what's been going on and what life should be like as we move into the tail end of 2020. We've been doing some serious research over the past 6 months, 5-6 months, and come up with some, I would say, some pretty revealing information, some kind of this business intelligence which people keep talking about, but some essential business intelligence about marketing and where businesses are going and where they've been, more importantly. So just to give you a quick heads up before we launch into this, we're going to cover obviously about marketing. We're going to be covering the impact of marketing if you're looking for investment or business development and what's happened there. We also have a playbook which you can download. It's on our site. It's a 35-page illustrated playbook, which is a step-by-step systemized guide to marketing. Absolutely required reading. And we're going to talk about that as well. And I suppose to an extent explain why so many people have gone wrong. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And why we have the answer to that.
Well, there is. Well, I don't want to say it kind of goes without saying, but it's a very difficult one. Because we said this before, everybody's a marketer. Everybody knows how to do marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And because everybody's a marketer and everybody knows how to do it, the actual, I suppose, if there are any there are genuine professionals out there, but I have a problem with this that, no, I'll tell you what, let's kind of start at the beginning. And the research that we've been doing is to try and find out why marketing is so painfully useless. That's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates it. Sales and marketing are at each other's throats the whole time. And nobody seems to have the answer. We're a lot of years down the line now. Somebody should have worked it out and identified what the problem is with marketing. And they haven't. One of the things about business is that you can buy anyone. I'm not saying bribe anyone. I'm talking about buy anyone. Through a recruitment process or employment process, you can get anyone you want. But you can't buy a deal.
No.
And I'm not talking brown paper bags. You can't buy a deal. You can't say, right, if we just spend this money, we'll get these deals in. And that's a dead cert. It's never a dead cert. So this process of marketing and customer acquisition has been elusive and is continuously elusive because people don't follow accurate parameters. And so what we did and what we looked at was the reasons behind it. And I've got my glasses on here. And basically we talked about this before about CMOs, about chief marketing officers being responsible for it, but a lot of CMOs are directed by what the other directors or CEOs tell them to do. Mm-hmm. And you have to think, well, why don't they have the authority to kick ass, basically? And if you look at the job descriptions for CMOs on recruitment platforms, it says, you read it and go, so you want a CMO to come in and set your world alight. You want them to do and run absolutely everything to get new business, and everyone else sits on the periphery and goes, oh, thank you very much, we're the superstars. And I think if only the CMOs actually knew what they were doing and could do that, then happy days. But they don't. And the reason I can say this was with absolute confidence is that over the past 6 years, the press and the recruitment industry have published that the average tenure of a chief marketing officer is 18 months in the UK. So it doesn't matter what I'm about to say. I never published it. I never said it. They said it. So if an individual, a C-suite individual, can't keep their job for longer than 18 months, something is woefully and fundamentally wrong. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody says anything about it. Why should they? Recruitment agencies not going to say anything about it because they get to reappoint and replace and place CMOs every 18 months. Happy days. 100 grand a year, 120 grand a year, 25%. Thank you very much. What a great business. And every business is gagging to get the best marketing person they can possibly get their hands on because they need it. Because they can't rely on the salespeople. That's gone because that's back to cold calling. So basically I was looking at all this problem, and businesses want superstar marketers and they want them to have degrees, MBAs, MAs, everything. They want them to be, I think the reason they go for that is, blimey, even if we ask them for a SIM qualification or some kind of marketing qualification, that's never worked. So we might as well just go for the basic stuff, and hopefully they've got a degree of some description that they can read and write in English. Anything to try and show that they might have a semblance of intelligence. And yes, I'm being brutal about them, but I never did the publications. I never wrote the stuff. So if you look at the problem, and the problem as I see it, if you go back to past 120 years, the past 120 years, we've had a variety of different ways of being able to communicate to people. We've had newspaper, television, cinema, picture houses back in the early radio, and of course, latterly, past 30 years, we've had the internet. And so with the internet came the ways of using spam and so on, the whole ways that people used it in a kind of uneducated is the wrong word, but kind of a pioneering way. They're trying to work out what's the best way to reach new business. And the back of my mind, it's like you got the old salespeople, the old sales managers going, "Oh, people buy people." You got to go and see them, see the whites of their eyes, sell to them,
press the flesh,
press the flesh. Build relationships and so on and so on. You go, yeah. And then you look at the development of what we've got internet-wise. Initially, and lots of people have heard this, it started off, it was all like spam and this, that and the other. And people then used the internet as a broadcast medium the same way that they were doing it on television. And because that didn't work, they didn't quite realise that as it grew, you were actually speaking one-to-one and not one-to-many. And so as things evolved, the basic email thing became marketing automation. And marketing departments believed that marketing automation was the absolute silver bullet, was everything they ever needed. That was it. And they put all of their energy and reliance on that. But the thing is, if you look at the press for the past 6 years have been saying this. We're 2020. That goes back to, say, last year. So about 2012, give or take. 2013. There or thereabouts, about 2013. So you look at the onset of marketing automation. That came out in 2008, 9, 10. I mean, I think Marketo started up in about 2008, something like that in the States. So you've got Marketo and Pardot and Eloqua and all the other businesses starting their marketing automation platforms. And it's kind of getting involved, getting into and becoming more kind of ubiquitous within business in 2010, 11, 12. Talking to Dean the other day, for those that you don't know, Dean's our business development guy that works with organisations within their sales teams. And he was saying that the last proper successful telesales marketing campaign that you can think of dates back with him and other people about 2013. So here we go. We've got 2008, 9, 10, you've got marketing automation. That started to kick in and change the way people do email marketing, because it was there to kind of deal with the problems of spam and engagement. That starts becoming popular. Telesales starts dropping off. And then gradually they start only keeping their jobs for 18 months because they're getting the companies to invest in marketing automation, and they're not seeing the needle move.
You see, I think there's another issue going on, because you said right at the very beginning that everyone's a marketer. And I think that is also a bit of an inherent problem within businesses, because everybody has an opinion, because marketing to a certain extent is really quite subjective. You either like something or you don't like something.
Yeah.
So you might like the way somebody writes, or you might like a video, or you might like a podcast. But marketing is subjective, so everybody thinks their opinion is valid. So they, CMOs come into a business, and you see the recruitment ads are pretty much the same. They're not very different. And so because they're not very different, that kind of suggests that nobody's being overly creative when they produce these adverts, because they think this is what marketing is. This is, when you do a recruitment ad, this is what you want from somebody. But it kind of, you need some individuality, you need some entrepreneurship when you're in marketing, because the nature of it is that it's creative. It's meant to be creative. But I do think that CMOs in some ways are at the mercy of everybody else in the business, because everybody's got an opinion. The CEO will have an opinion, the chief financial officer will have an opinion, even if it's only a financial opinion. Oh, we don't want to spend that much money on it. Can you do it for cheaper? Or you are the marketing budget. Don't get out of your box. Sales will have an opinion.
And one of the big problems is that these opinions are based upon personal experience. But the personal experience is based upon B2C, and we are only concentrating on B2B. That's all we ever do. Yeah. So we know that people look at, well, I want to buy a new iPhone. It's personal. Yeah. You don't need a new iPhone. You've got an Android phone or some description. You go, I want an iPhone. I want a new car. These are all personal things. When it comes to B2B, it's... As a business, we need a new printer. We need a new this. Or if anyone tries to approach the business, it's like, can you make me more money by me buying this product from you?
Yeah, there's very rarely things that are very aspirational in businesses. No. That you want to own it because it makes you look good in a business. You don't make those sort of decisions. But I do think that because everybody's a marketer and everybody's got an opinion, that as an incoming CMO wants to put his own stamp or her own stamp onto a business, and some may be more creative than others, but they want to come in and they want to put their stamp on the business. And then because everybody else has got an opinion, their creativity is kind of undermined, if you like, or their approach is undermined. Because somebody say, oh, we tried that content thing, it didn't work for us, because they bailed too early. They put content out there, but they just put it out there for a month, or it didn't see any traffic because it wasn't written in the right way or whatever. And so they pull it, or they don't do it in the right way. And so, CMOs will move on because they're not producing the results, because either they just want to do what is expected of them rather than be genuinely creative, or you get somebody dictating to them what they should be doing. We have to do pay-per-click, or we have to do this, or we have to do that. And I think that undermines to a certain extent the creativity of a marketing team.
I mean, in terms of B2C stuff, well, we watch a lot of video stuff, a lot of video that relates to photography and video, and the production of video and films and lighting and using robotic arms for doing, camera movements, replicable camera movements and stuff like that. Love all of that. Like exceptionally creative, looking at different lenses to give you different bokeh, different lenses to achieve X and Y and Z. So we're absolutely really, really into the creative way of looking at marketing. Big time. And the trouble with what we've realised with B2B is that whilst one wants it to be, whilst a CMO might want to be creative, tough, you can't. I don't believe that, because it's systematic. You've got to have a system, you've got to have a structure by which you're able to communicate with people and communicate that message. And that message must be, this is how we can educate you about our product.
What I mean about being creative, though, is not just, creating fancy pictures and that kind of thing. But what I mean is it's about using all of the tools that are available to a CMO to create a marketing strategy or to produce a marketing. And I think so many people have input. Too many people. You wouldn't tell the CFO how to do his job.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know what you're saying, but I think that in terms of creativity for a marketing person, if you look at sales, there are different, I've forgotten the names of them now, but the spin is one of them. Spin is a methodology for selling. You can go to Miller Hyman, and Miller Hyman will give you another methodology about how to sell, from start and inception through to the close. You can look at ABM, and just in a marketing perspective, you look at ABM, you've got account-based marketing, which is going to look at communicating and connecting with all the different people in that decision-making process and send them information that will help them understand your product better. And if anyone's got any sense, they'll do accurate persona-based different information and content for each individual that they're communicating to. But the thing is with this is that in the same way that you've got structured sales processes, you don't have the same scope with B2B to have a creativity process which doesn't need to be structured. It does need to be structured, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at this desire by CMOs who believe that by implementing marketing automation is it. I don't need a structure. I've got marketing automation, and that covers it. That ticks the box for everybody.
Do you think that's taken away that degree of accountability then, because you've got a marketing automation platform?
It's not my fault.
That says,
it's not my fault. It's the marketing automation and the demand gen people,
or it's the data, or it's the But
and then the managing director says,
platform.
"See you later."
Yeah, we've got the marketing automation platform, and you've got all of the statistics, everything that comes out, everything, all the data that comes out of it.
But most people look at it, I reckon, we know, most people look at it and scratch their heads. They've gone, but we spent all this money. We've got all this software. If you look back in 2008 or before that, I can't remember this exact date he started it, but Scott Brinkler did the kind of the marketing technology universe. And when he first did it, there was about 300 different software platforms on there. Now, there's about 12,000, 10,000, something stupid, something ridiculous number of all these different people jumping on the bandwagon to build integrated marketing tools. So you think, wow. So basically a marketing department needs to become you should call them a systems integrator, because they've got to integrate all these different systems to make them work together. So you've got software coming out of everybody's ears, and the CMO's going, I've got to know how this stuff works. Come on, give me a break. My day is taken up by ensuring that we've got all the right software and the right technology, and we've got people that can actually set it up, and then they just leave it to the supplier. So the managing director, CEO, looks at it and goes, I don't quite get this. We're spending thousands of pounds a month on all this software. But it ain't moving the needle. We're not making loads of money. Why is it happening? Well, it's just one of those things. It's the market. It's this. It's that. It's the data. It's whatever. And the trouble is that the company gets fed up with it, and they go, right, well, he's no good. Get a new CMO. And when they kick him out or get fed up with it, or impose their expectations, which is right. It's not working. Get on the phone. It's not working. Start cold calling. It's not working. Get your black books out. It's not working. Go back to existing customers. Upsell, cross sell, do whatever. Yeah, get on the phone, and they get an amount of business from that.
Mm-hmm.
And the managing director, CEO, and or VP of sales walks away and goes, "See, marketing are useless. See, we're doing it. We're making some business happen."
Mm-hmm.
And the trouble is that is the 1950s way of selling, which is what happened in the 50s. That's what was available to B2B. So it started off with all these different media platforms, TV and radio and so on. But the bottom line is B2B selling relied on telephone, making telephone calls and door knocking from 1950 until now. Still doing it.
Yeah.
So the managing director turns around and says, go back and do what I did in the first place before I set this company up. I know how to do this. I didn't get where I am today without all this stuff. And so anybody listening to this is going, so what's the answer then, smarty? And the thing is, it's content.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. It's structured content. And if you read any of the books of the great and the good, like Seth Godin or Miriam Scott or any of the Anne Handley, any of them, Scott Brinkler even, and the people, Alan and Tellerico, when they set up Ion to do with landing pages and everything, everyone's saying content. But nobody actually says what it should be or what the format or infrastructure should be for content.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got people, if you just hold that thought there on the content for B2B, you've then got content or the SEO platforms that are out there that say, right, what you need to do is if you choose your keywords, you find out some different markets that are busy, that have got a lot of volume traffic. And what you need to do, say for example, there was a high volume traffic on making, muffins, blueberry muffins. So you go, well, it's got nothing to do with B2B. No, bear with me. So they go and look at blueberry muffins. You go, look at the search volume on making blueberry muffins. That's great. Right, what you need to do is write an article about blueberry muffins because there's a high search volume.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what your article needs to look like. It needs to be about 2,000 to 6,000 words, lots of information, some diagrams and this and that and pictures and video and so on and so on and so on. Do that article there on blueberry muffins, and that will drive traffic to your mum and pop website, and then you can earn money through your AdSense account with Google. And they toddle off and go and pull together loads of information about blueberry muffins, get loads of videos linked to other people's videos about blueberry muffins, and then their article becomes an authority on blueberry muffins. Happy days. So they drive loads of traffic, and they're going, oh, it's great, we're getting thousands of visitors every day to our blueberry muffin page. Oh, look, we've earned £1,000 this month. Isn't that great? Fantastic. Yeah. So now correlate that to B2B. They go, oh, we wouldn't do that. You go, write an article. They go, there you go. There's an article, 4 paragraphs.
Yep.
That's it. You go, how can anybody establish if you're an authority? If you've got every single article you've got is 4 paragraphs. So we've got a massive website. Big deal. And that's what people are doing time and time and time again. So you've got the issue to do with primary and secondary content and product content. So your primary content needs to be your thought leader content that you're explaining and teaching people how to do and use and understand your product.
Educational content.
Completely educational.
Yeah. Long
form, 3,000 to 6,000 words with embedded video and pictures and graphs and bullet points and numbered lists and content lists, clickable content lists, and embedded navigation back to the top, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And your website also needs to have embedded within it schema, which is a embedded code, CSS code, which tells Google what your page is, what type of page it is, and the information on it, which then they use that for Alexa and so on, all the other stuff that's out there, the voice search. But there are ways of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at 99% of B2B websites, they don't do it.
No.
And every single managing director says, I want to be number one on the search engines. Well, of course you do. ABC Acme button fastener.com is number one. Look, we're at number one on the search engines, but no one's ever going to put that in. And so what you want is you want your content, your educational thought leadership content to appear when someone puts a question in, and you're there to answer the question.
Yeah.
And they go to your primary piece of content and go, wow, they really know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of that piece of content or down the side is a call to action that says, come and have a look at our product. Bingo. So they've gone primary content to product. And then at the end of the product, it says, call to action, have a demo. We'll come to you.
Yeah.
That's it. Your secondary content are your parties, your Christmas jumper photos, anything. Doesn't matter, news, industry, it's irrelevant. You're not looking to get to the top of the search engine by saying that your main supplier has just done an event in another country. Who cares? Only you care. Only some of the people that are closely connected to you care. So you've got primary and product, and secondary doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And so can primary content does it have to be a written piece of content, or can it be other types of content? Can it be video? Can it be podcast? What?
I think me personally, I would say a primary piece of content is written and video, and if you can, have a podcast. So it's all three, all embedded in one.
Okay.
Which is absolutely everything.
Right.
Because we could talk about something here like we're talking now,
mm-hmm.
and then we can get it transcribed. And we'll post this on our website, and we'll put the transcript on our website, and there'll be a lot of information. It'll be text. So to make a podcast that visible,
mm-hmm.
You then need to add in your indexing and your bullets and pictures and everything else.
Yeah.
But this is a podcast; it's not a blog.
Yeah.
But if you embed this into an article, or you embed a video into an article.
Yeah.
Even if your video, and this is the big kicker, if your video is on YouTube or on Vimeo, you need to have a sitemap, an embedded sitemap. If you're using a CMS like Joomla or WordPress or whatever, you've got to have a sitemap program that identifies all of the videos that you've got and the paths to those videos, which will not be on your website because they will be hosted on Vimeo or YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, the sitemap says this video on this page hosted on Vimeo
mm-hmm.
belongs to this website.
Mm-hmm.
And when you process that sitemap through Search Console to Google will go, oh look, it belongs to them. So when you scroll down on the search engine, you'll see 3 videos, and one of them's yours, or all 3 are yours.
Yeah.
Or all of your images that you use on that particular page, you see all 3 of them. It's because you've associated the pictures and the podcast, and there's also a specific bit of code that you need to use to say that those podcasts belong to you as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just an embedded link.
Yeah.
So in answer to the question, belt and braces is do all 3. If you can if you can talk about stuff and video stuff and write about stuff and give
mm-hmm.
graphs and everything else, you've created something that is inherently structured and organised and informative.
Mm-hmm.
That says we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, this article knows exactly what it's talking about. It's written for a 12-year-old, which is what Google looks for, and Google says, "Oh, well, that looks quite smart. We like that. We'll put that up there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll post it high." Now, the last 5 articles I've done, I've got on page 1 in 10 minutes. So
wow.
it's a method. There's a method to it. It takes time.
And is this what you mean by systemizing as well? That you have to have a methodical approach, a systematic approach to producing content.
Yep.
Is that
Yeah.
So it's not just having a system of, having a social media strategy or having a content strategy, but also having a systemized approach and a methodical approach to every piece of content that you produce.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that when you look at marketing, people talk about that people automatically associate systemization to automation.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, I think automation has forced CMOs to become flabby and lazy because they're reliant on it.
So it's just part of the puzzle, isn't it? The marketing automation. It's not the answer
because
to
it's still needed. You can still use it because you've got, I don't know, someone wants to sign up to your newsletter. You want to distribute information or send emails out and use that. And if you do send emails out and people click on the emails, happy days. Then you know if they go and visit your site. So you still got marketing, cold marketing, you want to call it that, out to a database. You might buy a database of, I don't know, all companies over 500 employees, for example. You get a database and you message out to the managing directors, and if they go on your site, happy days, because you can track it and see what happens with that journey ongoing. And the same with ABM. If you're going to adopt an ABM strategy, there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to have mechanisms in place to see what's actually happening and make decisions. But the systemization part is that you've got search marketing, you've got article marketing, you've got video, you've got adverts, you've got banners. What do you do with it? There needs to be a structured process. And people kind of get halfway and they'll produce something, but the content's crap. I mean, genuine rubbish. It's like not worth the paper it's written on. Yeah. And it's a common problem. And so you've got a landing page platform, you've got an automation platform, you've pay-per-click. Someone's clicked on it, gone to a landing page, seen someone say, nice to see you, click on this, give us all your details or whatever. They've given you the details, click the download, and it's pants. It's just no good. And so it's a part and parcel of a process. And if you look at us as a small company, so we've got a document download section, and in that document download section, we've got like a 50-page slide document. We've got a 265-page book. We've got some brochures. We've got loads of documentation. We've got the playbook. All downloadable, all free. Don't want your email address because we believe it's restrictive. We just go and download it. And we use Google Tag Manager, so we know every single time someone downloads absolutely anything anywhere on our site. Happy days. So we know everything works. That's fine. And that's how we do our business. Take it, have it. We're not precious about it, because if we were precious about it, we're then forcing or attempting to force a transaction on someone before they even know us. Yeah. I'm not bothered about that. But the trouble with the kind of looking at a system that envelops content, people are fearful. They don't want to lose their job. So how does that correlate to automation and everything else? Well, you put automation in, you're able to tick KPIs. We had this many clicks on our banners, this many people went through to the landing page, this many people clicked on this. They go, oh, look, and they chuck all those statistics on their CVs for after they do get fired, then take it with them. Oh, we had this uplift in X, Y, and Z. So then marketing are able to produce marketing qualified leads. And they pass them on to sales and say, no, well, we're transferring it now because it's a sales qualified lead now. We've got our we've got our lead scoring. It's confirmed X, Y, and Z. So here we go. And sales get it and go, it's useless. They weren't interested. And the bottom line is that people are adept at research. You want to find something out? Go on the internet. There's always someone out there that will offer the information free of charge. Yeah. There's always someone out there that you can go to find out information. And virtually every salesperson, every sales statistic will confirm that 70 to 80% of the sales process and research process is complete before they even will entertain speaking to a salesman. So if you're gatekeeping everything, if you're restricting everything, every piece of download and intelligence that you've got, and you won't allow a prospect to read it unless they give you their information, then you're not going to get in on the conversation.
You've got to be very sure that your content is spectacular.
It's got to be more than that.
But if you are gatekeeping all of your content, you've got to be really sure and very confident that your content is worth downloading in the first place. I have to say, I downloaded something a few weeks ago, and I had to give my email address and contact number, and I put all that in, and it was a white paper, and I can't even remember what it was about now, but it was a white paper, and I think it was to do with lockdown and change and so on. And I downloaded it and I looked at it, and it was about, I would say, a page and a half of A4 putting itself across as a white paper. So a page and a half, and I've given my email address, and as it happens, I haven't been contacted since, which is probably not a bad thing.
Well, that's good. That's good on their part. But because I was going to say, so I thought you were going to say you gave them your details and they called you straight away.
No, that happened to you though, didn't it?
I
But
know.
just if, but it was like, it was a page and a half of, no, it was like 1.5 line space saying, and it was a company I recognised. It was a recognised accounting firm, accounting software company, and I was just amazed. I was amazed at the awfulness of it, and I was like,
well, the other thing,
that's just
the other thing
appalling.
that we know that they do is you give me your email address, just your email address and your name, and blow me down. They find you and call you up.
Yeah.
It's like, I never gave you my number.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh, no, it's okay.
Like being stalked.
I went on LinkedIn. I typed your name in and I found you on LinkedIn, and I'm phoning you up because you downloaded this. And can we come and see you? It's like, but if I wanted to talk to you, I would have contacted you. Get lost. How dare you?
Yeah.
You're stalking me. And here we go, because it goes back to cold calling. So you've got all the technology in place to sink a battleship. But the reality is, because you're not confident, nobody's been confident about producing content or anything like that, they're using it as a cold calling tool. Get their email address, then phone them up. Oh, hot lead. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. And so, we're not really getting off topic at all. We're on topic. But this is what, as far as our listener, that one person that's listening, yes, you.
You know who you are.
The point is that we've looked at this and thought, how on earth can we explain what's going on, to articulate what's going on, and help businesses go, can we just do time out here, because this is actually real. This is, really real. It's just got a whole lot worse because of this COVID nonsense. But the reality is that this is going on. It's now September. People are going back to work. Businesses have taken an absolute kicking. And the first thing they're going to want to do is start building up their prospects and building their business up again. So what do? Go back to cold calling. Go back to start ringing people up. Let's go and do this. Let's go and do that. And so these businesses who have been forced to close for 6 months or whatever now have to try and get back on top again. And the only thing they're going to do with the tools that they've got is do the meagre work that marketing does, and then rely on the telesales people to actually get back on the case, or start clicking as quickly as you can on LinkedIn Sales Navigator.
I think statistically, the businesses that do fail, regardless of whether they've had any money sunk into them or not, the businesses that do fail are clearly failing because there's a lack of marketing understanding about how people buy.
We were looking at venture capital. So we're looking at venture capital statistics and information, because you can't just go, well, why do companies fail? Well, they fail for lots of reasons. So that's a crappy one to look at. Can't really look at that, but you can look at the statistics that relate to businesses that have been on the receiving end of venture capital money.
Yeah.
And so this is the jaw-dropping information and statistics. There's a website called CB Insights, and we were looking at this earlier today, which kind of really prompted us to do this podcast. So if you listen to this, the top 20 reasons startups fail. The top reason, 42%, no market need. It's like, and the giveaway's in the title there, no market in the market, no market need, no market, which means they didn't do their market research. That's a marketing problem. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down, 18%. Pricing and cost issues. No market research, no position, product and place going on there. Another 2 down, product without a business model. Another marketing problem. And the one below that, poor marketing. So you've got, and it just a staggering, like 50, 60, 70% of the reason that startups fail is because of rubbish marketing. But everybody's a marketer. So the people that are investing, they don't know enough about it. So they go, oh, well, it seems about right. We'll take a punt. And then we look at the overall statistics about from the investor's point of view.
Now, this was shocking. This shocked me.
The investor's point of view, between 75 and 95% lose their money. So
or don't make any
money. Or don't make any money. 75%. I mean, the figures are staggering. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. You've absolutely got to be kidding me. And you go, well, it's the marketers. No wonder senior management don't have much respect for marketers, because they're the ones that contribute the most to the destruction of businesses.
And I think marketing, to a certain extent, comes in quite late in the day in terms of the overall business plan. You know, you've got the entrepreneur who's got an idea, and he sells that idea to friends and family. So it's an app or whatever. Yeah. So he sells this idea to friends and family, and it sounds like a great idea, and you know they get some interest, and they want some money. So, but I think that whole, it's like put the cart before the horse. You know, you have to do that market research. You have to see whether you're, you know, people could just be being nice to you if they're your friends and family. You actually have to test it in the real world. And we talked about this, or you talked about this, and said, you know, before you put a market out and even get some investment, don't even go that far. If you've got some cash, if you've got some money that you want to, if you like, invest, do a pay-per-click campaign. See whether you're getting
100%.
clicks. See whether you're getting clicks. Look, do it for a period of time. You know, write some content about your product. You know, see whether there's, I mean, there are ways of doing this. I'm not quite sure how it would work necessarily for B2B, but, you know, is your product, or is the thing that you want to sell, being searched for? Is there a need for that product? Is there a need for somebody to have a special widget?
Even if it was a brand new product and nobody knew that they actually needed it, and that's a pretty common case for lots of people. Go, well, it's brand new, it's revolutionary, and nobody else has produced it before. Well, good for you. So the thing is to produce information and content, because it must address a problem. It must satisfy a need. Yeah. And therefore you have to write about it.
Yeah.
And so you could do pay-per-click and see if people click on it, and look to see how far you can take it just on pay-per-click.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could produce content, build a website, produce content, produce lots of content. And there's two things, there's two parts here. If you're a business and you want money, why do you want money? That you've got to really genuinely answer that question, and lots of go, well, we need it for offices and this and that and the other. They go, well, no, that's not a good enough reason.
No,
because if you can prove that you as a business can market yourself through writing primary and product content, primary, secondary content, and all the other necessary things with video explainers, video training, podcasts, and all the other stuff that goes with it, and you build a following. And that following stays with you, and they want to buy from you, and you keep getting repeat inquiries from different people because of your content. So now you've got a company. So why do you want money? Well, actually, we don't want any money because we want to keep this all for ourselves. Do it gradually, do it small, go small first.
Yeah.
If you want to. If you needed money for manufacturing and stuff like that, so go and get someone to invest in you. So what? But at least you know you can generate income all the time without you even getting out of bed. Because if you're going to go down a salesperson route and a telesales route, they get sick, they want holiday pay, they want a place to sit in an office and a phone and all the other stuff that goes with it, and all the commission that goes with it, and all the other problems that go with it, even the cost of recruiting them and national insurance. As opposed to, you produce the content once, it lasts for years if it's kind of an evergreen type piece of content, and away you go. So you keep driving traffic to your site with people that are used to saying, well, next stage is an appointment, and next stage is a phone call, next stage is a Zoom call, next stage is let's go through whatever it is.
Yeah.
But people are fearful of creating educational content because they think their competition are going to look at it. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
Well, your competition are going to download it because everybody more or less has got a personal email address. So,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, if your competition wants something badly enough, they'll find out ways and means to get that information. It's not
I mean, I there was a quote, I can't remember the guy's name now, come back to me. He said, yeah, if someone's going to copy you, they're always going to copy someone, but they'll never be as good as you because you're coming up with the new ideas.
Wasn't it the guy that started 4N?
I think so, yeah, Brad Burton.
Brad Burton.
Yeah. And so don't worry about them.
No.
Let them play catch up. Who cares? You know, if you're the leader, if you're the entrepreneur, you're the pioneer, go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about them. But the thing about the content, though, is if you have a content mentality and you get it to work, you're passionate about your product, your services, whatever you've got, make it happen. Mm-hmm. Because if you make it happen, if prior to you wanting investment, if you absolutely 100% must have investment, you'll get a far better deal if you know you've got your marketing nailed and can prove it based upon even anybody out there that's an existing business. Download the playbook and look at it. Look at your marketing through the lenses of our playbook.
Yeah.
And change.
Yeah.
Change what you're doing.
I think what we've learned over the last 18 months since we got the video equipment and we started looking at doing video and so on, and we've connected with, we've subscribed to quite a few channels on YouTube, is that the people...
Well, we're really good at it.
Oh, yeah, we've graduated from YouTube University. But what we've sort of discovered, there's a completely different attitude towards producing the content, posting the content, the type of content that it is, because you look at the video and photography fraternity, people that do this, people that produce this stuff.
Yeah.
And they are giving it away in spades.
Yep.
And this community, they all work together. So they all know one another.
Yep.
And they reference one another and they say, I'm looking at, so there's one guy, they all seem to be Canadian for some reason. So there's a guy who produces great content, Pete McKinnon. He started off as a photographer, I think, and then moved into producing video and so on. And over, I think it's about 3.5 years, maybe 4 years, he's gone from 0 subscribers to his channel to now he's pushing 5 million subscribers to his channel. Yep. Now, it's not because he's producing something that is fluffy, and some of it's a bit fluffy, when he goes off on his jet ski or whatever, but he's still showcasing what he does. So he's showcased, he might be unboxing a piece of hardware, or he might just be, talking about his family or whatever. But they're all part of this community and they all reference one another. So Pete's friends with Matty and Matty's friends with Jean. Yeah. And they share stuff and they go and film each other, and it's such a great community to be part of. But what you realise is that they are giving away this information, and they're doing tutorials about how to use kit and all the rest. And it's amazing to see, because it's so different and it's so refreshing to the B2B, from the B2B community, that keep everything, everything so close to their chest.
I know, and that everyone...
And it's entertaining. It's interesting.
Everyone in B2B thinks they're one step down from Jeff Bezos, and it's come on, people want to connect with others. They want to find out what their, not just what their peers are doing, but that's, you put me off. What I was going to say is the customers want to know you.
Yeah.
They want to see, are you like me?
Yeah.
Do I like you, and are you like me? Can I buy from you?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying in their heads, and that's what you're saying as well as a customer, as a supplier. You're going, well, actually, I don't want to sell to people that are a pain in the backside. I want to sell to people like me who get me, who understand me.
Yeah.
So the more you put out there that says, this is me, this is who we are,
Yeah.
the more likelihood you are of actually finding those people, because people will find you, go, I like him, I like her.
Yeah.
They're just
and
just
the thing
like
is
me.
that you've got to get to a realisation where what you sell or who you are is not going to appeal to everybody, and you can leave those people. You can leave them to one side. But,
I know.
But that's fine. You know that we accept that in business. But I just think it's interesting the difference between the community that and they are the content creator community. That's what they call it. They are content creators, and that's what they do. That is their whole reason for being.
Yeah,
is to produce content.
They're passionate about it, and of course we're talking to B2B organisations. We speak to B2B organisations. Their passion is their business. Their passion is what they're good at. And I believe with a passion that a lot of CEOs and so on have been the shine has been taken off their business because it's not doing what they expect it to do. Mm-hmm. But the trouble is that the strategy and understanding of what they are supposed to do has been handed down from generation to generation. Mm-hmm. We've always done it like this.
Yeah.
And there's that adage, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Yep. And
it's painful. It's really, really painful. I mean, I kind of it shouldn't be allowed. Mm. But back in 2006, so I went to see this doctor over in Watford, and 10 years prior to that, in 1996, I had a quadruple bypass. So I was very, very young, but quadruple bypass. 10 years later, got to see this doctor, wasn't feeling so good, and he took one look at me. He said, "Lose 20 kilos, you'll be fine, and stop drinking. Not even a sherry at Christmas." It's like, oh, okay. I said, but I've been going to see this particular GP for 10 years. He's never said that to me. So how come? He went, "Oh, sorry. Well, Mr. Maine," he said, "I can't answer for him, but I can tell you now, if you don't do this, well, I'm just telling you should do it. Don't you know?"
Yeah, do it and your prognosis will be good.
That's it. Do it and your prognosis will be fine. So I got, okay, fine. So I stopped drinking, and 6 months later I'd lost 20 kilos. And I'm still about 75, 76. So I'm good. So when it comes to marketing, same adage. Why haven't these marketing people done this? And I have to say to you, well, I can't answer for them. But if you do what I'm telling you to do, your prognosis will be good. And the thing about this is not saying, oh, we've got the secret sauce and you can only have it if you come to us. No. We've got the secret sauce, but it's free. It's available. It's on our website. Download it. Don't even want your email address. Just go and do it. Mm-hmm. Just look at your marketing through the lenses of what we've created and change.
Yeah.
Do it yourself. If you don't want to do it yourself, call us.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. We'll come in, set a program, set a plan up, make it happen, walk away. And you can call us anytime to come back in and review it. But the bottom line is do it.
Yeah.
And I think that because businesses haven't been told this, they've been forced into this 1950s mentality of knocking on doors and cold calling.
Yeah.
So you go, well, how do we change? You go, it's not a problem. It's a gradual crossover. Start the content. As the content builds, you can start losing the salespeople, start losing the telesales people. it may transpire that you need more content creators, which is fine, do it. But they're not going to cost you as much as a salesman. I'm paying a salesman in commission, and all the BDRs, and all the business development, and all the telesales people, and so on. So the process about this is increase one, decrease the other. And how long is it going to take? I don't know. It depends how much content you produce. But then that's why we've got the playbooks and the information, so you can look at it and go, what is it supposed to look like?
Yeah.
And we can give you some guidance on it and so on. But that's our, I suppose that's our revelation is the best way of putting it. Over the past few months, is that, we first of all was kind of complaining about CMOs, but I was complaining about them because they're supposed to be making it happen. And then we realised they weren't writing the content and doing enough content because they didn't really understand what content should be created. And so we said, well, you're bad as a CMO. You're not producing the content. You're not driving new inquiries through content to your business. And then we realised, wait a second, we've got this situation of CMOs only keeping their job for 18 months. Then correlated that with marketing automation when that came around, and so it all fits a picture. So now we're 10 years into this now, and it's not going to get any better. So after a 6-month lockdown, what should people be doing? Pursue the content.
Yeah,
absolutely pursue the content. See what the fact that you can write a piece of content, do it properly, get it out there, and it'll get on the first page of Google within minutes and start driving traffic. Happy days.
Yeah,
that's all you need, and you just need more of it. And as you do more of it, you can reach out better and more, and have more varied content because of podcasts or videos and so on. But we're kind of putting ourselves out there and saying, actually, we are the experts. We know exactly what we can piece this together. We can undo it, put it back together again, hands tied, blindfolded, all that kind of stuff. Because marketing is a process. Sales is a process. Yeah. Accounting is a process. Customer support and service is a process. Recruitment is a process. Every single thing is a process. And people think, oh no, it's not marketing because it's all airy-fairy and graphics and pretty pictures and creative.
I'm making my words now from earlier on.
Yeah. So it is a process, and it once you've got the process under your belt, then go and be creative and do whatever you want to do and be better. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, oh, well, we were doing this. No, I wasn't talking to them. I met them and watched their video the other day. I spent some time with them and then watched their video the other day. And they said, oh, we thought we would crank out loads and loads and loads of video because we thought that was the thing to do. And we were banging out video, 3 a week they were knocking out. 18 months later, they said, actually, we could have done less work, but higher quality, better lighting, better sound, better content, because people stick around and watch it. People read and listen to long form content.
Yeah.
Because it shows you know what you're talking about and that you've taken some time for them.
Yeah.
So.
Excellent.
I think that's it. Got to press the button. And we've got our outro music now. And by the way, we're going to do a new another podcast and a whole video session about all the kit we use and what we've got online and how we put it all together. But thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you've got any questions, let us know. Email us. Visit our website. Download our information. And please, please, please start doing content. Your business depends on it.
Yeah.
So that's all from me.
Goodbye.
Bye for now.